Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, entitled Creation, Chapter 8, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit Saved. Text 20. Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyemahi Striyaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Vishwa Guru Abhay Charanaраvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Kunti Maharani continued, you yourself descend to propagate the transcendental signs of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? Purport. Even the greatest philosophical speculators cannot have access to the region of the Lord. It is said in the Upanishads that the supreme truth, the absolute personality of Godhead, is beyond the range of the thinking power of the greatest philosopher. He is unknowable by great learning or by the greatest brain. He is knowable only by one who has his mercy. Others may go on thinking about him for years together, yet he is unknowable. This very fact is corroborated by the queen, who is playing the part of an innocent woman. Women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. The Lord is so kind that he does not show special favor only to one who is a great philosopher. He knows the sincerity of purpose. For this reason only, women generally assemble in great number in any sort of religious function. In every country and in every sect of religion, it appears that the women are more interested than the men. This simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than showy, insincere religious fervor. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So we just began discussing with the prayers offered by Kunti Maharani yesterday. As I was telling, this is one of the wonderful prayers in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kunti Devi offers prayers to Lord Krishna, realizing fully his transcendental position. Even though apparently she was playing the role of Lord Krishna's aunt, Kunti Devi did not have any wrong understanding that Krishna is an ordinary boy, his nephew. No, Kunti Devi was very well aware that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And as we saw in one of the verses before, Suta Goswami says that Kunti Devi was a chaste devotee of the Supreme Lord. She and her sons, the Pandavas, knew no other person than Krishna. Therefore, it was very natural for them to remember Krishna in all circumstances. Another important thing we should appreciate about Kunti Devi and her sons is that both in times of uh, pleasure and in times of pain, they always remembered Krishna. They never forgot Krishna. When Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling the kingdom, when he became the emperor of the whole world, the first thing that he did was he wanted to establish Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, the supreme worshipable object. To fulfill this mission, Yudhishthir Maharaj conducted Rajasuya Yajna. Politically, Rajasuya Yajna is conducted by a king to establish his supremacy. But Yudhishthir Maharaj did not perform Rajasuya Yajna for a political reason. That was an external reason. But actually, he established Lord Krishna as the first worshipable personality in his Rajasuya Yajna. And when the Pandavas were sent to exile, when they were in difficulty, each time they always remembered Krishna, and Krishna came and protected them in various ways through various means. So, a very important lesson we have to learn from the Pandavas and Kunti Devi is that whether there is Vipat or there is Sampat, Vipat means danger, Sampat means prosperity. In both situations, we should always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. So, this is a very important lesson Kunti Devi is teaching us, and the Pandavas are also teaching us. So, here in this shloka, Kunti Maharani is expressing her humility. Humility is one of the ornaments of a pure Vaishnava. Humble means not to expect any respect from others. That is called being humble. But being ready to offer respects to everybody. This is the quality of genuine humility that we can see in pure devotees of the Lord. If you study Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is not an ordinary devotee. He is a very, very exalted, pure devotee of the first order. So much so that the Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared in his dream and empowered him to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. And not only that, when he went to Vrindavan, prayed to Sri Radha Madan Mohan, seeking his blessings and empowerment to write Chaitanya Charitamrita, the deity personally blessed Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami by offering his own garland that he was wearing. So, this is the position of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nityananda Prabhu himself appearing in his dream and the Lord blessing him in his deity form. So, not an ordinary devotee. So, this devotee, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that I am more fallen than Jagai and Madhai, and I am more fallen than a worm in the stool. Now, we should not think that these are simply poetic expressions of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We should actually understand that such exalted devotees are genuinely humble. They don't consider themselves to be very exalted. They actually consider themselves to be very fallen. This is real humility. So, this kind of a humble nature of a genuine devotee at once attracts the attention of Krishna. So, this is the position of pure devotees. Now, here in this verse, what we read just now, Kunti Devi is also expressing her humility, genuine humility. What is she saying here? Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyema Histriyaha. See, in the previous two verses, we saw how Kunti Devi said that the Lord cannot be seen by materialistic people who are trying to see him through a material vision. We understood that the Lord can be seen only through the process of devotional eyes, devotional service, right? So we saw in the previous shloka, Kunti Devi is saying, Maya Javani Kachannam Ajnadhokshajam Avyayam. O Lord, you are Avyaya, you are inexhaustible, your glories are inexhaustible, and we are all ordinary living entities. We are not able to perceive you. Na lakshya se mudha drisha, nato natya dharo yatha. You are adhokshaja, you are beyond the perception of our limited material senses. And because of this covering of Maya, we are not able to perceive you. So all of us are covered by Maya. The Lord is not covered by Maya. We are covered by Maya. Our vision is obstructed by Maya. Srila Prabhupada gives an example. If there is sun in the sky, but sometimes we are not able to see the sun directly because the clouds obstruct our vision. Now, generally, we say that the sun is covered by the clouds, but that's a very layman understanding. The sun is much, much huge and vast compared to these little clouds. What can the clouds cover? The sun cannot cover. But it is our vision which is obstructed by the clouds. That is the right understanding. In the same way, the Lord is very, very powerful, he is very great, he is avyayam, he is inexhaustible, he is unlimited. How can his one of his energies called Maya cover him? It is not at all possible. Maya is one of the energies of Krishna. Krishna has got multiple energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate, Vishnu Purana states. The Lord has got varieties of different kinds of energies, out of which this Maya is one of his energies. Now, this Maya cannot cover Krishna. What does Maya cover? Maya covers our vision of Krishna. Our perception of Krishna is distorted by the influence of Maya. That is what Kunti Maharani said in the previous shloka. Maya Javani Kachannam. Our vision is covered by the curtain of Maya. Therefore, even though the Lord is present in front of us, we will not be able to understand or perceive him. But in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says, there is a way by which the pure devotees of the Lord constantly perceive the Lord. What is that? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Brahma says, I offer obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, who is the original personality, who is constantly perceived by his pure devotees within their hearts because their eyes are anointed with an ointment called Premanjana. Anjana means ointment, just like we know Amritanjana. Amritanjana is one ordinary ointment which we use whenever we get headache. We apply it. So Anjana means ointment. But the pure devotees, they have applied another kind of ointment on their eyes, because of which constantly they're able to see the beautiful form of Shama Sundara. And what is that ointment? Premanjana. The ointment called Prema, pure love. How have they developed this pure love? Because they have practiced bhakti. Bhakti vilochanena. The eyes of bhakti are tinted by the salve of love. The eyes of bhakti, first of all, they have eyes of bhakti, and that eyes of bhakti are anointed by ointment called as prema. So, how to develop this bhakti and prema, because of which we can see the Lord constantly? That is explained by Lord Kapila in the third canto of Bhagavatam. So Kapila Deva says that we have to constantly hear about the glories of the Lord in the association of devotees. We have to hear the Lord's glories. Bhagavatam we have to hear in the association of devotees. This Bhagavatam is very pleasing to the ears and to the heart. And by such constant submissive hearing, what happens? Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishyati. Kapila Deva says that our Shraddha, faith, Ratihi, our attraction to Krishna, and Prema, Bhakti, love for Krishna, are awakened. So, by hearing about Krishna in the association of devotees, as explained by the pure devotee spiritual master, we will develop our dormant faith and bhakti for the Lord. And when this bhakti attains a certain stage of perfection, when it becomes untainted by material contamination, and when this bhakti is ahaituki apratihata, that is but not without any material motivation and which is unstoppable in any circumstance, then the Lord becomes manifest truly in front of our eyes. Then the Lord is never lost to our vision. We will be able to see the Lord constantly 24 bar 7. So, this is the process of seeing the Lord. The process of seeing the Lord is not through the material eyes, but it is through the process of submissive hearing and rendering of devotional service. We can see this example for this is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, being just a 5-year-old boy, he was guided by pure devotee Narad Muni, and Dhruva Maharaj very sincerely executed the process of devotional service as per the guidance of Narad Muni, and he executed austerities and devotional service, chanting the holy names, worshipping the Lord with tulasi leaves in the forest of Madhuvana in Vrajabhumi. And because of this, within 6 months, he was able to see the Lord face to face. Now, this is possible by accepting the shelter of a pure devotee spiritual master and very sincerely executing his orders. So here, Kunti Maharani is saying, I cannot see you, O Lord. How can I perceive you? Why? She's saying, Tatha means besides that, Paramahamsanam. Paramahamsa means of the advanced transcendentalists. Paramahamsas means those who are very advanced in spiritual realization. They are exactly like Hamsa. Hamsa means swan. In Sanskrit, there is one nyaya, one logic called as Hamsa Kshira Nyaya, the logic of the swan and milk. What is this logic? According to this logic, it says that when a swan is given a mixture of water and milk, the swan is able to separate water and milk and accept only milk and reject the water. Now, this is used as a metaphor when it is used in connection with the pure devotees of the Lord who are referred to as Paramahamsas. Just like the swan is able to separate milk from water, the Paramahamsa pure devotees of the Lord, by their perfected knowledge and realization, they are able to accept only that which is favorable for the service of the Lord, and they are able to reject things which are unfavorable for the service of the Lord. Therefore, they are situated in a very, very exalted position even though they are allured by so many material temptations, they don't get attracted to such material temptations. Example for this is Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. We know the pastime of Srila Haridas Thakur, how he was tried to be enticed by this prostitute who came very nicely dressed and showed her beauty, bodily beauty. But Srila Haridas Thakur was fixed in his vow of chanting the holy names of the Lord, and because of this, he was not at all agitated by the beauty, material beauty of the prostitute. So, this is the meaning of Paramahamsa. A Paramahamsa, a pure devotee of the Lord, is not at all attracted to the glaring material attractions of this world because he is fixed up fully in the service of the Lord. So here Kunti Maharani is saying, my dear Lord, Only such Paramahamsas can understand you, and you come to this material world to teach Bhakti Yoga to such Paramahamsas who are already fixed up in a very, very exalted position and realization. Tatha Paramahamsanam, Paramahamsa, the advanced transcendentalists, Muninam Amalatmanam. Muni means the great philosophers or mental speculators. Muni refers to those who have taken Mauna Brata. They are called Muni. Those who are Mauna towards material topics. But those who can speculate unlimitedly with their material mental abilities and understand, try to understand the Vedic knowledge, they are called as Munis. So, and Amalatmanam, Amala, Mala means contamination, Amala means freedom from contamination. Amala Atmanam means those who have become free from all material contaminations. Those whose minds are competent to discern between spirit and matter. They are called Amala Atmanam. So Kunti Maharani is giving a list of three qualified personalities whom the Lord favors. Who are they? Number one, Paramahamsas, the advanced transcendentalists. Number two, Munis, Muninam, the great speculators, mental speculators and great philosophers who are conversant with the Vedic knowledge. And number three, Amalatmanam, pure souls who are able to discern between spirit and matter. So Kunti Devi says, you descend yourself, Krishna, to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, unto the hearts of these three exalted personalities, these three types of personalities. If that is the case, what to speak of me? Katham pashyema hi striyaha. I am an ordinary stree. I am a woman. And I am not as intelligent as the Paramahamsas. I am not as capable of speculating as the Munis. And I don't have the discerning ability like the pure Amalatmas. That is my position. I am not at all qualified. Then, Katham, how? Katham means how. Uh, Pashyema, how can I observe you? How can I see you? How can I understand you? See, this is the genuine humility of Kunti Devi. Actually, Kunti Devi is very exalted. She has pure devotees as her sons, upon whom Krishna has shown special favor. So she has given birth to such exalted pure devotees of the Lord. And but she is saying, I am not at all qualified. You will see a very similar mood even in the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm actually born in a demon family, and by default, we are all attracted to Rajoguna and Tamoguna activities. That is the case. How can I offer prayers to you? Lord Brahma is telling, please go and offer prayers to Lord Narsimha and pacify. But I'm not able to do that because I have this designative disqualification. By designation, I am a demon, so that is my disqualification. Demons are always against the Supreme Lord. And now Brahma is telling, please offer prayers to you. Oh Lord, how can I offer prayers? I don't have any qualification. But still, as far as my intelligence allows, for the purpose of my own purification, I shall try to offer some prayers. Like this, Prahlad Maharaj begins his prayers. Now, when we go in front of the Lord, we should also have this kind of consciousness. Oh Lord, actually, I'm not at all qualified to come in front of you and serve you. I'm not qualified to offer a lamp to you during this auspicious Kartik month because there are millions and billions of people in this planet. And there are very few people who have got this opportunity to offer a ghee lamp to you every day during this Kartik month. I am not at all qualified. But somehow, because I am connected with your pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, I have got this little intelligence, I have got this inclination that let me offer one lamp to you. That is my position. Otherwise, I'm not at all qualified. I'm not qualified to do any seva to you. This kind of genuine humility, it's not just lip service. We should not simply verbally say, but in my within the heart believe that, oh, I'm very qualified, exalted. See, every day I'm offering lamp to the Lord, so I'm so qualified. Nothing can be hidden from the Lord, isn't it? Lord is present in our heart as Paramatma. Nothing can be hidden from the Lord. But we should follow in the footsteps of such great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, like Kunti Devi, and we should develop genuine humility, right? So when we this genuine humility attracts the attention of the Lord. So Kunti Devi is saying, I am an imperfect soul, conditioned soul. On top of that, I am a woman. So woman, Prabhupada writes in the purport, previously also we saw, women are considered to be less intelligent. What is the meaning of this? Women are more emotional in nature compared to men. So, under the influence of emotions, women sometimes take decisions not by intellectual understanding, but they take decisions based on emotions, which is not the actual way to take decisions, isn't it? So, they get easily carried away by emotions. That is why women can get easily exploited. May I request Venkateshwar Rao to please mute yourself? Thank you. So, women easily can get exploited because of this emotional weakness. Of course, emotions do have a place, but while taking decisions, we should use our intellect, not our emotions. So, of course, in Kali Yuga, there may be men also who are emotional. In Kali Yuga, there may be men, there may be souls living in the men's body, but they may have psychology of women. And there may be souls living in the women's body with having a psychology of men. Both are possible. So when the scriptures say women are less intelligent, it is not like branding some, it is not a sexist remark, but it is talking about the particular psychology of the conditioned souls who are emotionally overpowered and who don't have the ability to understand the scriptural instructions intellectually. That is the meaning of being less intelligent. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a less intelligent in that way, isn't it? So here, Kunti Devi is saying, I have a designative disqualification. What is that? I am born as a woman and I have emotional weakness. That is my disqualification. Compared to the Paramahamsas and other exalted Munis who are all Amalatmas, pure devotees, I have this contamination that I have a weak mind, I have emotional weakness. So if that is the case, how can I understand you, O Lord? Even great philosophers, great munis cannot understand you. Then, if that is the case, me being an ordinary woman, how can I approach you? How can I understand you? This is the mood of Kunti Devi. In other words, it is the same mood that Prahlad Maharaj that he reflects in his prayers. He says, I am a demon, I am born in a demon family, Ugra Jata. Ugra Jata, I am born in a family which is conducted by the lower modes of material nature. See, my father Hiranyakashipu was a demon. My uncle Hiranyaksha was another demon. They only created problems for the people in this world. In that family, I am born, O Lord Narsimha. Just imagine what kind of qualification I have to even offer prayers to you. So that is the genuine humility of a pure devotee, like Prahlad Maharaj. The same is expressed here by Kunti Devi. But Prabhupada writes another interesting point. If you compare the participation of men and women in any religious functions, religious gatherings, you will always see women are more in number than men. in general religious functions, isn't it? Why? So Prabhupada writes here the reason for this is women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. So, women easily they accept Krishna, they easily accept Bhakti Yoga. When they hear the pastimes of the Lord, they easily get attracted to the Lord than men. Many a times, men may have this superiority complex. Oh, I am so capable. I am so powerful. Oh, why should I surrender to Krishna? Or why should I surrender to the pure devotee, spiritual master? So, this kind of superiority complex mostly does not exist in the mind of women. And that is why they easily accept the Lord. The Lord's superiority they accept. And thus they offer obeisances without reservation. They don't become proud of their position. So they easily accept the Lord and they offer obeisances. They take up bhakti yoga much easily as compared to men. That is the general statement. Of course, there may be exceptions, and there are definitely exceptions in Kali Yuga because in Kali Yuga things are all topsy turvy. The so called women are actually not women, they have a psychology of lording over. They are more proud than the so-called men of the Kali Yuga. Therefore, Kali Yuga means it's an age of topsy-turvy nature. But still, uh, therefore, in Kali Yuga, the easiest method to understand spiritual knowledge is not by speculation, not by extreme austerities, not by philosophical speculation. It is simply by the process of chanting the holy names. So, chanting of the holy names, anybody can do anytime. There are no hard and fast rules. So, anybody who is genuinely interested in spiritual advancement, he or she is recommended to take up the simple process of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, Prabhupada says the simplicity in women is a plus point for them because that helps them to quickly accept the Lord's authority and they take up devotional service with much more sincerity than their counterparts, the men. Okay, let's go to the next shloka, text 21. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. Purport. The Lord, being thus unapproachable by any material assets, out of unbounded and causeless mercy, descends on the earth as He is, in order to show His special mercy upon His unalloyed devotees and to diminish the upsurges of the demoniac persons. Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations because in this particular incarnation he is more approachable. In the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood. But in the incarnation of Krishna, although he was the son of a king, he at once left the shelter of his real father and mother, King Vasudeva and Queen Devaki, just after his appearance, and went to the lap of Yashoda Mai to play the part of an ordinary cowherd boy in the blessed Rajabhumi, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastimes. Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and the family. Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew and thus address Krishna in parental affection. But Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes, which are more attractive than all other pastimes. There is no parallel to his childhood pastimes as exhibited at Vrajabhumi, which are the prototypes of his eternal affairs in the original Krishna Loka, described as the Chintamani Dhama in the Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 29. Lord Sri Krishna descended himself at Vrajabhumi with all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Vrajabhumi, and specifically the cowherd girls who dedicated their everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. His pastimes with Nanda and Yashoda, and his pastimes with the cowherd men, and especially with the cowherd boys and the cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda. Lord Krishna, as Govinda, is more inclined to the Brahmanas and the cows, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on these two items, namely Brahminical culture and cow protection. Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So, this is a very, very famous prayer. Devotees offer this prayer very regularly. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So now, so far in the first three verses, Kunti Maharani expressed her humility and she said that because of her inability, because of her disqualification, she is not able to understand who Krishna actually is. She also said that because of the curtain of Maya, which is covering her vision, she is not able to understand Krishna truly. Now she is glorifying Krishna in this verse. Glorification is a very integral, important, essential part of any prayer. We have to glorify the Lord because the Lord is the only personality who is fit to be glorified. Generally, in this world, we try to glorify so many people because we want to flatter them and we want to extract some benefit, some help from them. So, generally, people go to politicians and glorify, oh, you're so great, you're so magnanimous. Please help us in this way. We have this trouble like this. But the perfection of our tongue is attained when we actually glorify the actual object of glorification, that is Krishna and his pure devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the perfection of our tongue is achieved when we glorify the pure devotee of the Lord who has taken complete shelter of the Supreme Lord. That is the perfection of our tongue. So here, Kunti Devi is teaching us that we should utilize our tongue to constantly chant the glories of the Lord. Because by glorifying the Lord, we become purified. There is no difference between the Lord and his glories. So by chanting the glories of the Lord, we are actually connecting with the Lord, we are touching the Lord directly, and by this we become free from the touch of Maya. As long as we are situated in glorifying the Lord, for that duration we are free from the touch of Maya and the three modes of material nature. So, the more we glorify the Lord, the more we become free from the contaminations created by the three gunas, and we become eligible to enter the spiritual world. So, a pure devotee is one who is 24 bar 7 glorifying the Lord by his actions, by his speech, by his thoughts. So we have to come to this stage, we have to aspire to come to this stage where every moment in our life we are glorifying the Lord either through our thoughts or through our words, or through our actions, then our life becomes glorified. By glorifying the Lord, our life becomes glorified and we become eligible to go to the spiritual world. So, what is the glorification that Kunti Devi is offering here? She is chanting the various names of the Lord. And these names of the Lord are in connection with his pastimes, his qualities, and also his dear devotees. The Lord is very pleased when we glorify him in connection with his pure devotees. This is very, very important. So we don't simply say Krishna, we say Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna means what? Krishna, who is very dear to Radharani. Krishna, who is the property of Radharani. That Krishna we are approaching. So Krishna becomes very happy when we recognize Radharani in connection with him. Or when we say Yashoda Nandana, Krishna becomes very happy. We are recognizing Yashoda Mai, who is an exalted, pure devotee of the Lord. We are glorifying Krishna with respect to his pure relationship with Yashoda Mai. Or when we say Vasudeva, Vasudeva means he who accepted Vasudeva as his father. So Krishna becomes pleased when we address Krishna as Vasudeva. Why? Because you accepted Vasudeva being moved by his devotional service. Oh Krishna, you have accepted Vasudeva as your father. Even though you are the father of all living entities, you have accepted mercifully Vasudeva as your father. When we say Devaki Nandana, oh Lord, you gave pleasure to Devaki. Mother Devaki was suffering because of the atrocities of her brother Kansa. So, to give assurance to her that don't worry, I'll be there, I am there, I have appeared to give you protection. Oh, mother, don't worry. You said like that when you appeared as the son of Mother Devaki. So, when we remember this pastime of Krishna appearing to give reassurance to Devaki by chanting this name Devaki Nandana, Krishna becomes very pleased. And then you are Nanda Gopa Kumara. You, even though you appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, O Krishna, you immediately went to Gokul and there you accepted Nanda Maharaj as your foster father, as your foster father you accepted, and you became the Kumara, the son of Nanda Maharaj, and you performed so many leelas, childhood pastimes for the pleasure of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. So this we meditate, especially during this Kartik month, we are meditating on this one particular Leela called Damodar Leela, one of the childhood pastimes of Krishna, which Krishna performed for the pleasure of Yashoda Mai. To actually Krishna performed this Leela to glorify Yashoda Mai's unique position. In the Bhagavatam 10th canto, there is one verse which glorifies Yashoda Mai. It says, Yashoda Mai's position is more exalted than Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, and all other devatas, because Krishna considered Yashoda Mai to be her mother, his mother, and Yashoda Mai considered Krishna to be her dear child. That Lord who is glorified in the Upanishads, that Lord who is searched after by the great Sankhya philosophers in meditation, that Lord whom even great devatas cannot understand properly, that Lord is treated like her own son by Yashoda Mai. That is the greatness of Yashoda Mai. So this entire Damodar month is actually dedicated to remember the exalted position of Yashoda Mai. Hmm? So Kunti Devi is actually glorifying Vasudeva, Devaki, Nanda Gopa, there is Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. And finally she is saying, Govinda, you appeared as Govinda because you give pleasure to the senses of your devotees. Go means it has many meanings. Go means senses. Go means earth. Go also means cows. So Krishna specifically appeared to give pleasure to the senses of his devotees. He gives pleasure to the earth by freeing the earth from unwanted demoniac burden by killing the demons. And also, he gives pleasure to the cows because Krishna appeared as a cowherd boy. Actually, this Krishna appearing as a cowherd boy, uh, it is very special. In all other incarnations, Krishna is not so approachable. Hmm? Krishna, like Prabhupada writes in the purport, as Ramachandra, when Krishna appeared, he appeared as a Kshatriya prince. And all through his life, he was a Kshatriya only. And he bound himself to the rules and regulations of a Kshatriya. So he was not very Sulabha. Sulabha means easily approachable. So, whereas in Krishna Avatara, when Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, he demonstrated that how he is so easily accessible. He is easily accessible not only to human beings, but also to the animals of Vrindavan, to the cows of Vrindavan. He is so easily accessible. He himself became a cowherd boy and he was tending the cows, which is his eternal occupation in the Goloka Vrindavana also. And then Krishna is easily accessible even to the monkeys of Vrindavan. We see in the Damodar Leela, Krishna stole butter and he was distributing the monkeys. He was distributing butter to these monkeys. That means even to the monkeys, he is so easily accessible. Of course, you may say in Ramavatara also Krishna engaged the monkeys in his service by giving them an opportunity to build Ram Setu. Yes, but there it was more of Dasya Bhakti. The attitude of service was prominent in Ramavatara. The Hanuman and all other Vanaras, they considered Lord Rama to be their master and they only rendered service. But look at here in Krishna Avatara, Krishna is sharing butter with the monkeys of Vrindavan. He is more accessible. He is in a more, jovial mood in this Krishna Avatara. Therefore, the Acharyas say this Bhakta Saulabhya is one of the qualities, unique features of Krishna. Bhakta Saulabhya means being very, very accessible, easily accessible by his devotees, by everybody. So, this is a special feature of Krishna's appearance in Vrindavana. So, therefore, Govinda. So, Krishnaya means the Supreme Lord who is all attractive. Vasudevaya unto the son of Vasudeva. Devaki Nandanaya unto the son of Devaki. Now, the word Nandana has got two meanings. When we say Devaki Nandana, it has got two meanings. Nandana means the son of Devaki, that is number one. Number two is Nandana means one who gives Ananda. He is also called Nandana. He gives Ananda, he gives pleasure. So he gave pleasure to Mother Devaki. Therefore, he is called Devaki Nandana. Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. Nanda Gopa refers to Nanda Maharaj and all the other Gopas, the cowherd men. Kumaraya unto their son. Govindaya unto the personality of Godhead who enlivens the cows and the senses. Namo Namaha. So Namo Namaha is a sandhi in Sanskrit. Namo Namaha. Sandhi. You have to, when you break that, it becomes Namaha plus Namaha. That means repeated obeisances. Repeatedly, I offer my obeisances. Namaha plus Namaha. So, what is the meaning of this Namaha? We have discussed already many times. Namaha means to become free from false ego, false proprietorship. Oh Lord, nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to you. Acknowledgement of this fact is called as Namaha or Namaste. So, one interesting point that Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, the exalted position of Mother Yashoda, right? Mother Yashoda is more fortunate than Devaki and Vasudeva. Even though Krishna appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, very soon he went to Gokul, and that is where he performed his very sweet childhood pastimes. This childhood pastimes of Krishna are a unique feature only limited to Krishna. It is unique to Krishna only. You will see in the Bhagavatam descriptions of various avatars, Narasimha avatara, Vamana avatara, right? Matsya, Kurma, all of these Parashurama avatara. In all of these avatars, there is no description of childhood pastimes of all these avatars. See, Vamana Deva appeared as a dwarf, right? But there is no childhood pastimes that Vamana Deva performed. As soon as he appeared, he transformed himself into a dwarf Brahmana, and then immediately they performed the Upanayana Samskara for this. Actually, they performed the Namakarana plus Upanayana, both together. They performed for Vamana Deva, and immediately Vamana went to the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj to ask for 3 paces of land on behalf of the Devatas. So there is no description of childhood pastimes of Vamana Deva. And what about Narasimha Deva? Definitely no. He appeared directly from the pillar, straight into action. He fought with Hiranyakashipu and killed him. There is no description that first Narasimha Deva appeared as a small baby, then he performed some leelas, then he grew up, then he went and killed Hiranyakashipu. There is no such description. Whereas only in this Ramavatara, yes, Ramavatara, you will see in Valmiki Ramayana, there is some description about the childhood pastimes of Rama, but that is very, very less. You can say, compared to, if you compare Krishna's childhood pastimes to a big hill, Rama's childhood pastimes is like a mustard seed. It is that less description we get from the scriptures. In the Balakanda of Valmiki Ramayana, uh, there is very few episodes of Rama's childhood pastimes. Quickly, the description moves on to Rama growing up as a boy and going to the ashram of Vasishta Muni, getting their Yagnopavita Upanayana Samskara, and his education is described. His education is described in many, many verses in the Valmiki Ramayana. His great qualities are described. But then you won't find descriptions of his childhood pastimes so much. But in the Bhagavatam, there are many, many, many chapters in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam totally dedicated to describe the childhood pastimes of Krishna. These childhood pastimes of Krishna are so special that even great devatas like Brahma and Shiva, they hanker to witness the childhood pastimes. Because generally the Lord does not display childhood pastimes like this. And we should see the rarity of this Krishna's appearance as we have understood previously. Krishna appears only once in a day of Lord Brahma. And he appeared just 5,000 years ago. Not that in every Dwapar Yuga, Krishna is going to appear and perform his childhood pastimes. Isn't it? So therefore it is that rare. That is why even great devatas, they're all waiting to observe, to watch, to relish the childhood pastimes of Krishna. Look at the great fortune of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. They are very fortunate because they were able to take part in the childhood pastimes of Krishna, not just witness. Devatas are witnessing from the sky, from their planets, they are witnessing. But look at Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, they are not just external observers like the Devatas, they are very much part of those pastimes. Especially the Yashoda Mai's, this Damodar Leela pastime. Yashoda Mai herself was involved in that pastime. Look at the great fortune of Yashoda Mai, isn't it? That is why her position is so exalted. That is why there are so many shlokas in the Bhagavatam exclusively describing the great fortune of Yashoda Mai. And this Kartika month is meant for meditating on the transcendental loving service of Yashoda Mai. And Prabhupada also mentions about the exalted position of the residents of Vrajabhumi. During this Kartik month, in Vrajabhumi, Krishna performed very special pastimes. Govardhan Leela happened during this Kartik month, and this Damodar Leela, of course, happened during this Kartik month. And uh, we see one more interesting thing. Kartik, in the scriptures, it is mentioned, the Skanda Purana especially mentions that if one can go to Vrindavan during the Kartik month and perform devotional service there, then such a devotee immediately becomes eligible to go back to the spiritual world. He gets liberation. So that is the position of the combination. First of all, Kartik month itself is so very pure. Wherever you offer lamp to the Lord, you become liberated. But on top of that, if you go to Vrindavan and perform devotional service to the Lord, you become even more dear to Radharani and Krishna. That is the exalted position of performing devotional service to Krishna in the Kartik month in Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states, Prabhupada quotes here in the purport, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given certain very, very special conclusions. Number one, he says, as Krishna is worshipable, his Dham Vrindavan is equally worshipable. Number two, he said, there is nobody greater than the Vrajavadhus, the cowherd girls, damsels of Vrindavan, when it comes to rendering service to the Lord. No one is more exalted than the Vrajabhumi gopis. So they are the topmost devotees. This is the second opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The third one, he says, Srimad Bhagavatam is the perfect and pure narration of the pastimes of Krishna. It is a spotless Purana. Puranam Amalam. It is uncontaminated, it is spotless, it is pure, and therefore one should study Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the conclusions given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam. Matam means opinion. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, the gopis of Vrindavan are the topmost devotees because they dedicated everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. So during this auspicious Kartik month, if we are not able to go to Vrajabhumi Vrindavan, at least wherever we are seated, we should meditate upon Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. We can do a Manasik Yatra of Vrindavan by remembering the various pastime places of Krishna. Especially, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Shukadev Goswami says, if you study or if you narrate or read or hear the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, you get the same benefit as personally witnessing them. So Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, which is translated summary study Prabhupada has given to us in the form of Krishna book. We should relish Krishna book. We should read Krishna book every day during this auspicious Kartik month. It gives us the same benefit of visiting Vrindavan, and not only visiting Vrindavan, witnessing the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. So let us make the best use of this wonderful Kartik month. Every day let us sing the Damodar Ashtaka, meditate on Damodar Leela, offer a ghee lamp to the Lord, chant more and more Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and read and relish Krishna book, the pastimes of Krishna. So these are some of the interesting points from this verse. This prayer also is very special. We can offer this prayer every day to the Lord during this Kartik month. This particular verse, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We shall meet again in the next session and discuss more. Tomorrow we will be having a different session. I will share the link. We will be having a session based on the importance of Damodar Leela, which I will be giving to the students of IASC. I will be sharing the link with all of you. You can also join us online. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री श्री राधा दामोदर की जय, कार्तिक दीपोत्सव महामहोत्सव की जय, विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।